Hello and welcome to the Power of Literacy for Littles podcast, a 5-episode mini-series by Power of One Foundation made possible by the Orange County Department of Education. I'm your host, Shawnee Roberson. I am the co-founder and operations director for Power of One Foundation. I have 12 years of experience working in the nonprofit sector here in Orange County, California. I'm also a children's book author, a publisher, and mother of 2 toddlers.
The cutest little ones ever. And I am your co-host. I'm Chrissy Green, and I'm a community engagement coordinator with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library of California. And I've been in the nonprofit sector for over 20 years. 10 of those years, I focused on literacy, providing a program for juvenile court and community schools in San Diego, California. And Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is celebrating 30 years of operation. We are in 5 countries.
Amazing.
And we're the largest book gifting program in the world. We, just in the United States alone, 1 in 7 children are receiving the Imagination Library book. And I just give that context to showcase how big this program is. And because of Shawnee and Andre with Power of One, we're making this possible for the children of Orange County, and it will be our biggest launch to date over the last 30 years. 174,000 0 to 5-year-olds will be able to participate thanks to those efforts. It gives me chills when I talk about that. So
It's very exciting.
it is exciting.
It's a big deal to be bringing it to California, so we're honored to be a part of Orange County with it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. This episode is episode 3, Books Without Barriers. We will be addressing what barriers to literacy can look like for our children, and we will showcase how literacy is an invitation. It's an open door into broader worlds that connect all of us together.
That's right.
And we will talk about how these books and literacy in general can overcome those barriers and help children overcome those barriers from both an academic and an equitable standpoint.
As Dolly says, if you can read, you can teach yourself anything. So this is why we're here today. And we are honored to be joined by Senator Grove, who is integral in launching this program statewide. She co-authored Senate Bill 1183, which essentially established a state match as well as a state initiative to roll out the Imagination Library to all 58 counties. And we're excited to be chatting with her today, as well as Will Wong, Senior Director of Education Partnerships with Woodcraft Rangers, and he's an award-winning educator. It has a myriad of roles that he has maintained over his career and has made such a difference in our community. So we're so grateful to have him today.
And we had the opportunity to interview Senator Grove from Sacramento. So we're going to check out our little interview with her right here.
Well, first of all, it's such an incredible honor, Senator Grove, to interview you, be in this seat as a community engagement coordinator for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, as you co-authored Senate Bill 1183 along with former Senator Atkins. And I just want to know, what was the genesis for shepherding this bill forward, and what is your why?
My why was because in the Central Valley, we have low educational outcomes. And why not partner with an incredible individual like Dolly Parton and her love that she has to make sure that every child has an opportunity to develop a love for reading, to foster a love for reading. And what I loved about Dolly's books, they were non-controversial, they were in English and Spanish. So I had Spanish-speaking parents coming to me saying that they're learning English because they understood what their child was reading and would be able to communicate that with their child. And it was just a great opportunity to part with them. My cohort in this whole thing was Senator Atkins, former Senator Atkins. She loves Dolly Parton, and we worked on this together. Mike Belote was a lobbyist that brought it to my attention. I took it to Senator Atkins' attention. We looked at the numbers in each one of our districts, and I just shared some of the statistics in my district. And we found out that kids need an opportunity to get excited about something. And how exciting to have a book mailed to your house every month from Dolly Parton.
Doesn't get better than that.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator. I would like to ask you, from your lens, how does book access start to break down those barriers for our little learners? And what are the biggest challenges that you see right now facing our children when it comes to learning and reading?
So I love the access that Dolly Parton Imagination Library and our communities get to wrap around in several parts of the state, right? Like you guys are doing it where you are in Orange County. We did it in San Diego. We did it in Kern County, in the small communities that we have. And I love that it's an option for individuals to get involved and partner with the Imagination Library in order to provide access to great books like The Green Tractor, right? It's like it's like the green and it's in Spanish, and it's Spanish and English so that the parents can, read along. And this one's, Corduroy. He's just it's these are just great. The Little Engine That Could. All these great books that are produced by the Imagination Library and put out, and every child gets this book. So they have available access that comes to their home once the parent signed the child up. And it gives them a preparation for kindergarten, right? They have a preparation because they're already reading at school or reading at home when they get to school. Some parents have come to me saying that these books have just encouraged my child to read. And like I said earlier, it's fostered a parental participation, especially with our Hispanic communities, so that they know what their child is reading because it's in English and in Spanish. And that was one of the things that we asked Dolly's team to do, was to make sure that every book brought into California was translated, or at least have a variety of books available. And they immediately granted that request. And like I said, my partnership with Tony, we were able to get this across the finish line into the governor's desk. The first partner loved the program as well. And so it was really a bipartisan group of individuals that came together to make sure that we had kids prepared for kindergarten before they even left their home. And this is a great option for them to enroll in.
Senator Grove, what do you see as the most influential tool for reducing barriers for our California youth?
To me, having books available, right, for California youth means that assuring every child, regardless of the family's income, location, or language, they have a chance to explore the world through reading. And the Imagination Library makes that possible. Like I said, with mailing books directly to the child's home, like I said, in Spanish as well, because we have a large Hispanic population. And I'm pretty sure that California is the first state to have offer bilingual books, and now they're using them in different states as well. But I really do believe that this program, it removes the financial barriers and access, because parents don't have to drive to the library. They don't have to drive or have access to books in the public sector, because they just mail it to their home. And I just think it removes that barrier for someone to participate in fostering a love for reading for their child.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Looking ahead, this is a little bit broader question, kind of outside of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Just in the state of California, what gives you hope for the future of literacy for our children? And for the people listening, what's one simple action that they can take to make a difference for the kids in their own community?
I would challenge parents to read with your kids every night. It doesn't matter, just read with them. When my grandkids come over and I read with them, they point out pictures, and it just gets them so excited. And my 2-year-old, who doesn't read at all, the grandson, not my child, but my 2-year-old grandson, who doesn't read at all, he'll bring me a book and he'll point to it and he'll say, read, grandma," and so I just think, if we engage kids in this process and the excitement of things that are in the books, like I said, The Green Tractor, The Little Engine That Could, the excitement, they actually engage in that process and that excitement, and they get used to that reading process, and it just prepares them. And I really do think that the Imagination Library, this bill that we passed and made it available to all of Californians, is breaks barriers to access, and it also makes sure that kids foster a love for reading. And so I challenge parents or caregivers or grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, just read. Take 15 minutes and read to your child, and they will really engage and then start to bring you books, because that's what happened in a lot of the families that we've talked to.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Senator Grove, and thank you for making this possible.
Yeah, thank you for championing this for our state and really being the catalyst to bring this here.
We passed the bill and we threw it out there and the governor signed it, but it took people in the community to take action and make this happen. And thank you guys for doing this, because You wouldn't have this program in Orange County if the local community didn't come together and push this program through. So thank you for your participation, or it wouldn't be happening and we wouldn't be reaching the kids that we are.
Thank you, Senator Grove. It's
Thank
such an
you.
honor to be talking to you.
Thank you guys for doing this. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, Senator Grove. And now we are excited to be joined by Will Young, Senior Director of Education Partnership with Woodcraft Rangers and an award winning educator. Will, can you share a little bit about your background with the audience?
Sure. I've been an educator almost all my life. I was a high school teacher, elementary principal, chief business officer for a school district, and now I work for education adjacent organization, Woodcraft Rangers. We provide expanded learning programs for children all throughout Southern California.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for being here today to speak with us. You have been a teacher, principal, district leader, and now you work with Woodcraft Rangers. Can you share a little bit about your journey, expand upon your journey, and what's drawn you to education?
Sure. First, thank you for having me. Education has had a profound impact on my life. I grew up in New York in a pretty dangerous area, low income neighborhood, where just living was a challenge for a lot of people.
Mm.
But my teachers from my public school, elementary, middle, and high school, they profoundly changed my life for the better and really gave me a vision of what my future can be. And so I did a few careers before I jumped into K 12 education. And I just, that experience of how adults can change children's lives just really had an impact on me. And that's where I've spent my career now.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
That's
Thank you.
so amazing. What a testament to what meant something to you, and then you turned around and made that your life's goal to be that to another child. That's really amazing. It's
Thank you.
such a cool life journey.
It is.
From your experience, which is vast, how does early learning, book access, and the exposure to words transform a child and guide them into their kindergarten experience?
I'd like to share a story when I decided to become a teacher. For a credentialing program, we did a school site visit to an early childhood education program. The teacher was teaching a lesson on patterns, red, green, blue, using Lego blocks. I was
Mm.
a new teacher. The students were, doing their thing. Some were building extravagant Lego systems. Others, it looked like they were struggling. And the mentor teacher, the professor, asked us, "What do we see?" And I was a new teacher, and the students who struggled, they said, "Oh, some of them, it looks like they're just having a hard time with pattern recognition." And, he went around and asked what we all saw. And someone raised the question, you know what? Is it possible that for some of these students, this is the first time they're playing with Legos?
Hmm. Yeah.
And that stayed with me. It changed my view of what was going on, right? There were some and it was the first time some of them were playing with Legos. So I think about what we're doing here, books, right? If the student doesn't have Legos, they probably don't have books either at home, and it
Exactly
can
right.
create a radical difference in their preparedness
Mm.
once they come to the elementary school, right? And I was a
Yeah.
principal and I saw it. Uh, Kindergarten students, some were, academically up here,
Yeah.
others, same, right? What are these things? Oh, these are books, these are
Yeah.
toys. And you could just see those differences early on.
Well, you brought me to tears. Thank you for sharing that story and putting into context for our audience that not everyone has access to books, and that's what this program really does. Is
Yeah.
it provides that ability for families to cultivate a home of literacy, and that might not be something that was in their ability before this program came to fruition. And thank you for what you do as an educator. That's amazing, and I have to get myself collected here. But looking ahead, what gives you hope about the future of literacy?
What wonderful. What gives me hope? It's people like you. It's organizations like that, like the organizations you're representing, and this is what I believe. Everyone is uniquely gifted and talented. everyone. We have these schools where we have educators and community members and partners working their tails off to help other people's children, right?
Yeah.
And it's a profound profession. It's a profound organization, schools that welcome all children, uh, despite the things they do or do not have, the challenges they come with, the challenges they have at home and they bring to the school. And so we're all uniquely gifted. And I would say what gives me hope is I've seen so many passionate people, volunteers, PTAs,
Mhm.
school boards, community members, nonprofits, making a difference in their local community. So what gives me hope is that I believe in this country, in this state, we have so many gifted people, and we have such needs, and there's so many people doing it. And if you're not involved, go with your gifts, go with your passions, see what your local school needs,
Yeah.
raise your hand, show up, and
Mm.
help out how you can. And that's what gives me hope. I see it all the time.
I love that. And Dolly, one of the many reasons why she started this program was because she grew up very modestly, one of 12 in Sevierville, Tennessee, in a two-room cabin, and book access was not something she was privileged with, and so her hope is that all families can participate in this program, whether they're in an affluent community or otherwise. So it's a connection point. A child can walk in and say, "I've read Quarter Right too,"
Hmm.
or "I've read Coat of Many Colors as well," and it's an opportunity to have that connectedness because we all are connected.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you touched upon that. So thank you. The last question I want to ask you for the people listening, what's one simple action they can take to make a difference for kids in their own community?
Yeah. I touched upon it. You're gifted. America is a great place. We have so many people who have so many talents. Match your talent and your passion to a need in your local school, in a local community organization, and you'll feel better. It's life giving to you, and it's life giving to our children.
Could say it better myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you for this time.
So beautifully put. Thank you for all the work you're doing for our communities.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to our guests for their insight, time, and support. And thank you to the Orange County Department of Education for making this podcast series possible. We wouldn't be here today
Without their team.
without their team supporting in this effort.
And just a reminder that this is the 30th anniversary for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So it's revolutionary. It's transformational to be bringing it to California on the 30th anniversary. And it's the largest book giving program in the world, providing free books to 3.2 million children. 3.2 million
Every
from
month.
birth. Yeah. They get a book in the mail every single month, and they get to receive that and add it to their home library. And they might not have a home library without this program.
That's right. That's right. And beyond that home library, this program is designed to really, it's an opportunity for a child to see a world outside of their own, and as well as to better prepare them for kindergarten. And for those listening, we encourage you to visit powerofonefoundation.org/OC Imagination Library to sign up your child, your grandchild, your neighbor, your loved one today, because this program is coming to your doorstep soon.
So make sure you pre-register on that website, and then you'll receive an email once we launch, and then you'll be able to register and get receiving books.
Start receiving the books. And if you want to support, visit that website to learn ways that you can get involved, because it does take a community to make something of this magnitude happen in Orange County.
Yeah, like Will said, get involved. A good way to support education and your children in Orange County right now is to support this program coming here. So thank you to all our listeners.
Thank you.